Your wish has been granted.
What is going on, guys? This is the People's Champ coming to you with a brand new deck profile video with my partner in crime, Slug. How we doing today? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Howdy. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing today, Brant?
Not too bad. I have finally started to get over my cold from last weekend, and I'm feeling a lot better about recording videos. I don't sound so congested like I did in the podcast.
That's good, man. I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm also feeling better. I've been sick all week.
So, to the people watching, what you got here in front of you is the deck that I ran here at Dallas this past weekend for Card Fest, and I wanted to show it off to everybody. I gave you the official deck profile of what I took. Again, like I explained in the podcast, didn't do well with it, but the deck itself is super solid, and I highly encourage anybody to actually give it a try. And then we're going to talk about maybe some changes that I would make with my experience, and of course, you know, what didn't work, what felt good, what didn't feel good. So let's go ahead and get started with the leader. So this is Sun Gohan protecting the weak, or I call it SneakHan, which is basically, you know, when Gohan is sneak attacking Dodoria when he's beating up Namekians. So this leader reads like you're having a stroke. So I'm going to try to read it as it's written, and then I'm going to explain what it actually does. So activate battle on the front side. If your red Vegeta, Krillin, or Namekian card is in a battle and you choose one of your red Sun Gohan Youth cards, draw one card, switch your card that is in battle with the chosen card, and it gets plus 10k power for the battle, and you flip the card to its backside. So this is a flip leader. There's no awakening. You just flip-flop back and forth. So basically what you're trying to do here is get into some kind of battle, whether it's on your opponent's turn or on your turn, with like a weak-ass weenie, a Krillin, a Vegeta, or a Namekian. Ideally, you're doing it with a Krillin, or the Nail, which is like a 4k, and then you basically activate battle, and you switch it to, it could be your leader, it could be a Gohan on the field, as long as it's a Sun Gohan Youth, and then you're making your Gohan gigantic and making it hard to swing into or combo out of. So then on the back, we are the auto, win a battle card that is in your opponent's battle area and whose owner is your opponent is KO'd by your red's card attack or by KO'd by a skill. You flip this card to its front side. So that particular wording sounds like a heart attack. All you need to know is that's sort of like future-proofing. Like if you remember the blue pan that was from 3Han that you would be able to place into your opponent's battle area, or the red Sun Gohan Beast deck that has that other pan, like you own that card even though it's in your opponent's battle area. So all it's trying to say is it can't be one of your cards that you put over there. So it has to be a battle card that you kill or you KO with a skill or with an attack that your opponent owns, and then it flips back over. So you want to keep flipping it back and forth. And it can, with sequencing, it can get really tricky. So now we're going to go ahead and open up with the first few one drops here. We got Guru, Drawing Power. I'm running 4 of those. Card. And so this one is just this is the more important one out of the 2 in my opinion. So I play it at 4. So basically auto, when you play it, draw 1 card. It's a cantrip, but the important thing is you activate battle once per turn. If this card is in rest mode, choose up to one of your red Sun Gohan Youth or Krillin cards and it gets plus 5k power a turn. You basically get to bean one of your cards. 9 times out of 10 you're beating your leader with this. Or if you're really trying to put pressure in, it can be one of your Krillin or Gohans when you're putting pressure on. But this is like a prime target for that leader's front side activate battle, which is you swing with the Guru. You can see it's a 4K. You're not actually swinging with this Guru. You're just going to redirect most of the time to your leader, make your leader gigantic with it, flip it over and it becomes a 25k base, and then you could activate battle on this Guru, give it your leader another 5k, making it a 30k base swing before you even actually decide if you want to start comboing. So it's a really, really good card. And then we have Dende Healing. So this one is a searcher. So you play it out, top 5 check for a Saiyan, Earthling, or Namekian that are all red that cost 4 or less to your hand, and then you shuffle your deck. And then this one is an activate main. You get to choose up to one of your red cards and it gets 5k power. So this one is an activate main. It doesn't have to be in rest mode, but you could pick any of your red cards. This one I run at 3. Again, I think I like Guru better because it's an activate battle, so you could do it on your turn and your opponent's turn for defense and offense. But Dende is also essential just to search for cards that you need. Usually trying to find that nail or another Gohan or a Krillin, the very important Krillin surprise attack or surprise move, I think is what it's called. So then we got our next couple of cards, our 3 drops here, and that's a 4 drop. So we got the real. This card here is Son Gohan Hitting Away. I didn't use this card very much, but it can be essential because it has Revenge. And you can put Critical Pressure, but that really wasn't important to me. But I ended up never really using Son Gohan Hitting Away. And then I would probably replace the 2 that I ran of Hitting Away and maybe with the Double Strikers because I really wanted to put pressure on with the Double Strikers. So you pay 1 red if my leader is Son Gohan, a red Son Gohan Youth card, and you have 2 or more energy, draw a card, and play a card from hand. So, and it's a crit revenge 10k, and then it's a redirect target using your leader's activate battle. And of course, defensively, if you could redirect the attack to this Gohan, and of course it has revenge, so you're gonna proc revenge and kill whatever's swinging at you. If you decide to not combo out, or even if you decide to combo it out, it's really easy to defend your Gohans because of how large they get. Again, this card, although on paper, like, it seems like it's really good to have, you may still want to run it, but I just never really used it during the event. I used the other Gohan more than anything. So then we have Krillin Hitting Away. This is extremely important to the list. This is your leader flip card when you can't flip through the effects of the leader. So it's a 1 drop, 2 or more energy. Play this card from your hand, and it gains barrier until the end of your opponent's turn. Even the developers know this card is really important to the deck, so it wants it to stay alive. So it gives it barrier for a full turn on both sides. And then it just has a simple activate main, limit 1. You flip your leader to its front side, so you can start doing the redirects all over again. So you want to have at least 1 of these on board at all times. Really only 1 because it's a limit 1, but that's besides the point. And then we have the last 3 drop, which is Pan Grandfather Strength. This card is really good in the deck because you're using the cantrip effects to boost your cards up. So the moment you do that, you get a free draw, and you get the -1 of your opponent's battle cards for 20k. So you're board clearing a little bit. You're handling problems, and of course, it's a 15k swinger at worst.
Your leader also procs it.
Correct. Your leader does proc it. So your leader, when you're boosting up that 10k from the front side, still procs it. So super, super useful in this. Sometimes it kind of sucks because the 15k power or more in play restriction on your opponent's side, if they haven't played one out, it sometimes becomes a dead card in your hand, but at worst you can combo it off. But it is super, super good in this deck. 4 drop.
Well, it says, remember, Pan says if you or your opponent have a 15k in play.
Well, there we go. But a lot of the cards, especially that you get set up with, are like less than 15k by a lot.
100%.
So then the next 4 drop is Vegeta Hitting Away. This is another card that you should run 2 of, but I didn't use very much at all. It usually became combo fodder, but it is a 1 drop. You play it, and you have an activate main once per turn. You can just KO opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less, not ignoring barrier. That would be broken if it could ignore barrier, but you just pop a card for 25k power or less. Super useful when you need it, and it's a KO ability, so it will flip your leader. Maybe I should have used.
This gets through Red's Silver Bullet, Zamasu counter.
Correct. I feel like maybe I probably could have put this card to better use, but as I was describing in the podcast, I was trying to kill fast, so I just wanted to get the essential cards on board and start swinging, and Vegeta just kind of never... It felt awkward to play during that time, and then when the opportunities that I probably could have played it, I just didn't have it in hand. But it is a very good 2-of to have. Next up, we have the one of the best cards, if not the best card in the deck, Krillin's Surprise Move. So when this card attacks a battle card, your opponent can't use a card in a combo for the battle, so you're guaranteeing that you're going to KO their card 9 times out of 10. Also, when you play it out, you draw a card, so you're replacing yourself. Always good. For the turn that you have played it, this card can attack active battle mode cards, or battle cards, excuse me, active mode battle cards for the turn. So when you play it out, you just start swinging at their standing cards. So what you most often do is you will swing with Krillin at an active mode battle card, redirect, and the auto always procs, so your opponent cannot combo for the battle. Then you redirect to the leader, you flipping the leader over, and then you're getting the boost, probably procking the pan, minusing another card off, and then you're swinging 25k base with the leader at whatever you're trying to swing at the active mode battle card. That card will most likely die, and then because you KO'd it with battle, you flip your leader back over, and then you do it again with the dual attack. It is a broken card.
One thing that I do want to note with this deck in specific, with the pan minus effect, you almost never want to use it for board clear on offense, due to the fact that you can keep flipping your leader by just killing their battle cards with your battle cards. The deck can go +8 if your opponent plays into the deck poorly. Like, it can go +8 on your turn easy. It can go +5 on their turn if they're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But the pan minus, if you guys can, I would highly suggest minusing a 25k or a 30k down to a 10k. So then when you do swing your surprise move Krillin into them, they're not gonna, you don't have to combo any cards out of hand, so you get the maximum value out of leader. You'll flip leader, flip right back, restand Krillin, and you went +2 because you drew off pan as well.
Absolutely.
Also, I do want to note this Krillin surprise move is Red's answer to Zamasu counter. It's a generic answer. Mm-hmm. If they play Zamasu counter, they never swing with it, so now you have Krillin play it for 1 energy, replace itself, mm-hmm. swing into the Zamasu counter, and they can't combo.
Absolutely, and you only have to be a red leader. It doesn't have to be a Gohan youth, so you could play this in any red deck. It's a fantastic card. I love this card. It was my favorite card to put out.
Great card.
So this is the other Gohan that I was talking about, the Sun Gohan surprise move. This to me, when I was playing it this week at the event, was my main attack, pressure, because it's a 1-drop, replace itself, double striker, and then at the end of the turn, you choose after one of your red battle cards and switch it to active mode. So, if you have a blocker standing up that hasn't died, or any kind of thing that you want to use to keep it alive or keep it from being swung into, it restands at the end of the turn. But it's a 20k base, 4/1 that has double strike, and then when you start using your leader effect to redirect into a Gohan, you redirect into this Gohan when you're putting pressure, it becomes a 30k base, and then if you're using your Guru or your for a battle or the Dende before you swing, it becomes a 35k base. Or if you have both out, it could be 40k base. It doesn't, the amount of boosts you can give your Gohans is crazy. And so early on, especially with the amount of pressure, your opponent's going to especially early on, they're not going to combo out of a 40k base swing before you even combo. But later on, when their life's getting low, they're really going to consider, because they want to live and they want to win. So then they're dumping cards from hand just to live if they haven't negated the attack or didn't have a block or some kind. So surprise move is, you definitely in the way I use this deck was the main aggressor. Which is the card I probably would have, if I took out the other Gohans to hit in the way, I would have just bumped this up to 4, because sometimes I just didn't see the surprise moves, and I really needed to see the surprise moves.
Okay.
So, there's an argument to keep both, obviously, because that revenge is killer because it's another KO effect, but I felt like when I was doing, when the matches were going, and if I ran out of gas, it was because I just didn't have the Gohans, I didn't have my offensive cards, and I would have something like Hitting Away or something that I couldn't really put damage into. So I just felt like during the event, I really wanted to see surprise move a lot more. So then we have the next 4-drop, which is Sun Gohan, Sun Goku, Unlimited Potential. This is the generic, every red deck has it, barrier blocker. When you combo something, it switches back to active mode. And of course, it lets you minus something down. So if you're using it to board clear defensively, you can, or if you just want to minus something down so it can't swing through anything. Universally good red card. This is not Purunga, so I don't have to worry about bottom decking it. And then the next card is Android 17 and Android 17 Hellfighter, or Hellfighter 17 Team of Evil. Fantastic card. This is one of like the cards that is very versatile in the fact that you are able to put pressure down. And so you play it for 1, draw a card, and then you swing with it. And then even if it doesn't go through, even if they negate out of it, it's no longer a dead card because you can use it as a combo card in rest mode. So fantastic card, 20k swing. Doesn't get through, combo it away on your next swing. Great card. And then Costume Change. Costume Change is a goated card. So it's a counterplay. If it's your opponent's turn, you draw 1 card, and you choose up to one of your red Son Gohan, Youth, Vegeta, or Krillin cards and switch them to active mode, and they gain barrier and blocker for the turn. And of course, if your leader is the SneakHan or SneakHan leader, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by taking a life to your hand. So this is the kind of stuff that because you are a flip leader, you usually start off for a while until you start using these extra cards or these negate battle cards. You were staying at high life for a while, like for early on in early turns of the game. Like I was sitting at 6 life for a long time until I started using these. So this card replaces itself and it boosts up your defense. I think in the event, I probably either wasn't seeing these enough, even though I'm running these at 4, or I didn't utilize them properly. But I digress. But it is a great card, especially in the deck. Definitely a 4 of, in my opinion. And then the concept rare. The red one and the yellow one and the blue one are definitely the best 3, in my opinion. I ran 2 of the concept rares. Great card. It beans your leader. So, in the procs pan, it synergizes very well with this leader. Redirects the attack to it. So if you're trying to survive, and then at worst in a deck where it's trying to kill fast or kill hard and kill fast, it's a 25k double striker for 1 that you can play out and have ready for the next turn. Ran 2 of these. They didn't come up a lot though. In I think I played it once, so I think 2 of is right for it, but it is very useful when you are able to use it or if you're set up to use it. Next card up is the Super Saiyan Vegito Power Release. This is just a good counter attack. Puts a blocker on field, and then you choose up to one of your cards gets 30k power for the battle. So you're probably going to target your leader so it can survive the swing or whatever. And of course, you could pay for it for free by taking a life and warping 2 Saiyans from your drop to warp. So super good. Ran this at 3. And then Scouter Destroyed. Scouter Destroyed is a great card. It basically it's a full negate, and then you choose 2 of your opponent's cards, and they can't attack leaders for the turn. I don't think I didn't use it once during the event because most of the time I was probably tapped out because I was trying to put so much pressure on, and you can't free. This is the 1 red extra card I think we can't free play in the deck, and so it became a lot of times kind of a dead card in hand. But when you do get the chance to use it, it is super useful defensively. I think I probably had an issue of just overextension during a lot of my games, but again, I was trying to win by turn 3, so I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Next card up is the other best card in the deck, Nail Planetary Guardian. This card is fantastic. So, blocker revenge, counterattack, you play the card, and you choose up to one of your cards, and it gets plus 20k power for the battle. So, and you can pay for it for free at any point in time by, if your leader is an Earthling, Namekian, or a Shenron card. So, it can go in a multitude of different decks. But this is, obviously designed for Purunga and Son Gohan flip but you can play it in those decks that are leaders and Namekian, Shinra, and Earthling, and you can pay for it by taking a life to hand. But, this card plays out. It doesn't negate the attack, and you can't activate blocker because that's already past, because it misses the blocker step. However, what you can do is you just give the card that's being swung at 9 times out of 10 at your leader plus 20k power, and it makes it very, very difficult to for your opponent to want to swing into your leader. But then you're set up for the next attack for blocker revenge, and then if your leader hasn't flipped yet, this card is super useful because you get swung at on your leader, you activate blocker, and then revenge procs. So the revenge is now pending, and then you redirect to your leader, flip your leader, get the 10k, draw a card, and then at the end of that combat, whether or not you took a damage or not, that revenge finishes resolving, and then that card that you that originally swung, that you originally blocked with, gets KO'd, and then your leader flips back to the front, and then the value train keeps going. So, fan-fucking-tastic card. I love this card. I use this card all damn day. It's definitely not my favorite over Krillin, but it is very important to the deck. And then the super combo I used is Piccolo Jr. Terror is Born. I forgot the other super combo. I think we were trying to use Raditz when we were originally building this. Do you remember, Austin?
Yeah, Raditz.
Yeah, it didn't feel good when we were in the little bit of testing we did. And Piccolo Jr. Terror is Born just
especially
felt
against like stall decks. Stall decks can keep you at high life, especially if you don't see your costume changes or nails. You're not able to ping your life down. So it's just nice having this super combo, especially in an aggro deck where you have the option to combo every now and then.
Yeah, and you only need the 2 Z energy, and that's entirely dependent on you, and so you can decide when you want your super combos to be live. And with the Raditz super combo or any super combo that requires you to have a certain amount of life, especially in a flip leader, because you early on and you want to win so fast, your life may not be close enough, and then you have to find ways to take your own life, and that becomes problematic. So this just was the better red super combo, in my opinion, for the deck. Then our SCR we ran is Pan, Time Control Maiden. Very good card for the deck. It's Floodgate if you need it, but the real trick to this card is playing it offensively. You have a bunch of cards on field, whether it be, in combination with your opponent. You play it out, you get a swing, and then of course, then if you really want to, you could pay 1 and steal one of your opponent's cards and swing with it. But like I said, at worst, this becomes a Floodgate card, and then you could use it on the crackback if you want to. We did have considerations for other SCRs. I think we originally looked at the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito.
From BT27.
Which it is a good SCR that you can use, but because you want to kill so fast, you never, most of the time, shouldn't be getting to that turn forward that it requires, and so it becomes kind of a dead SCR. And then we looked at the new Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, which I think requires you to be at 3 energy, so it's kind of like a similar issue to where you have to be at a certain energy point to be able to even use it. So it just felt better to play Pan.
Yeah, Pan in an offensive deck, you can kind of like psych your opponents out by playing your overrealm before Pan, because then they'll be like, okay, this is his last swing, I'll combo out and get over, and then you drop a 40k base, and then they're like, oh, well, good game. Exactly.
And then the last card is our Overrealm, which is even funnier in pairing with Pan. So we're playing Heated Fighting Spirit. It's pretty standard Overrealm card that a lot of people use. But this card is extra funny when you use Pan offensively, because what you could do to really fake people out is you Overrealm with the Vegeta. And 9 times out of 10, when people Overrealm, most people are done swinging after that point, because usually they're tapped out. They're trying to use a free Overrealm to get one more swing. And then after you swing with that, you play out the Pan, and then you have another 40k base swing. So depending on how you order it, but that is I feel like the ideal way you want to use these 2 cards. I never in the entire tournament in play got to use both that way, and I didn't see Pan at all the entire tournament. I did have Heated Fighting Spirit in my hand at one point, a couple of times, but I never had enough card on drop to use it, and so then it became combo fodder. So this is the main deck. Again, I mean, I think as it is very good. I think the only real major change that I would consider is just changing the ratios of the Gohans. I mean, maybe take out the hit in the ways and put in a full 4 of surprise move. But there's definitely going to be an argument to keep the hit in the ways because of the revenge and critical, because criticals do suck to take. But it never felt good to play that the entire time, in my opinion. Is there any changes you think you would make, Slug?
Give it a card that you can play in your opponent's field that's counted as your opponent's control.
I don't think there is one.
Give it one. That's the only change I'd give it. It's a good deck. This is a very, very good deck. I think it has very good potential in the right bracket matchup, but if you run into decks that don't have to play battle cards, you're going to struggle because you're only going to draw 1 or 2 cards depending on if you see you're hitting away Krillin.
Yeah, and so it can be very glass cannony for sure. And one thing that I ran into that was a super big problem, especially with decks that have like good removal, is a lot of your most important pieces are 4 drops and less, and so and most of them don't have barrier, if not none of them. And they're very easy to get rid of. So if you can't maintain a board state, it can be very glass cannony. So the Z deck, I didn't really use the Z deck very much.
This deck doesn't really utilize the Z deck very much. Outside of a Z extra, I don't see it. Yeah,
it's just kind of there in case. A lot of them are in case cards. So like we just said, the Z extra, we ran 2 of them. It was the 10 times Kamehameha Mighty Blast. Very standard red Z deck card. I played 1 Son Goku Defender of Life. Never saw the chance to use it, but I think if a game really took a while, I mean, you can burn them for, no, you can't burn them because it doesn't have a card underneath it. But it comes out, it's a double strike.
Well, it tucks any Saiyan.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I've never played this card, to be honest. Red is not my color, so yeah, I'm very unfamiliar necessarily how to properly play that. That obviously can tell. But it is a very solid red battle card if you could get the chance to play it. But it's a 2 energy, 3Z energy, so it's very unlikely that you're going to end up running it, playing it. And then we had 2 Rush Attack Super Saiyan Blue Vegetas, kind of the same issue, but in longer term games, you can be able to put, if you have enough Z energy, you can put down some serious pressure. But it's very standard red Z battle card, one of the first really good ones. And then we had Son Goku Non-Stop Attack, one of those. I never like this one. You can definitely get out earlier, but I shouldn't say earlier, but because it comes a 1-drop with 2Z energy. However, it can be difficult to play because you need to have a battle card with 30k power and more, so it does require some prior sequencing to get it and to have it out, but it is very useful when you can get it out because if you do set it up to where you have a battle card with 30k power or more, you can activate it, remove it, activate battle on this card, remove that 1 card with 30k power, and then you it's got to be a red battle card too, and you place it in owner's drop and it gets another 9k and double strike, so it makes it a 25k double strike. So if you're really trying to put some pressure down that you don't have anything offensively in your hand, or whatever, Z deck is Z decking. And then Jiren Climactic Battle. This has been pretty well ran with a lot of red decks now. Empower 3 barrier dual attack. So this one you want to be able to play it with the Empower, so you're able to get the markers up, so you can make this card's swings bigger. So you want to get the Empower 3, so it has 6 markers. So then you get a 40k dual attacker at best, and then of course defensively, it negates the attack with a -1. So it's a good offensive card. And again, another card I never got the chance to play. Like we were saying, you don't really play much out of your Z deck, but they're there if you need them. Frieza Unrestricted Power. This is one of the ones where if you are able to boost it up, becomes a big critical, and of course it gets barrier. But discarding one from your hand to give it 10k power, and it's not once per turn, and then you could start minusing your opponent's battle cards with that. Can be useful if you're really having a hard time dealing with your opponent's board, but you're going -1 from hand to do so. And then lastly, we had Majin Buu Climactic Battle. We had 2 of these. It is the one that I feel like you're most likely to play out besides your Z Extra, because it has the activate main to choose up one of your opponent's battle cards with a power less than this card's power and KO it. So it has a KO ability. So what you could end up doing is pay more for this. So if you have enough energy or enough free energy for it, you could pay more for it, give it more markers out the gate, and then or you could empower over it with another Majin Buu just to get more markers, make it a larger card. So you could pay 3 for it, so it gets an extra 2 markers, make it a 25k. So then you're able to case something 25k power or less. Whatever, you guys know how Empower works and how this card works, but it definitely is the one that synergizes the most with the deck's goals with KOing cards. But like I said, I think I only ever used the Z Battle card. I think I even used it like once. And then we have lastly the side deck. So we played 3 Broly Crown. It's Broly Crown, classic red sideboard card. Everybody knows why that card is useful. And then we had Mai King Piccolo's Underling, classic blue hate. I think everybody's side deck has this kind of blue hate.
Especially in this meta.
Definitely in this meta. Deborah Ritual at hand, green hand control hate. I mean, it's the one that we had to run because there isn't like a Son Gohan ally, whatever the fuck it's called. The one that yellow, green, and I think
it's just yellow and green.
Yeah, yellow and green got. And then we had Shu King Piccolo's Underling. This one, I believe, is for like the some of the battle card floodgates that you can counterplay, so you're not going to
Oceanus mainly.
Yeah, Oceanus for sure, because it is a 5k power less, so it's limited. But if you know you're going to play against blue or any kind of like black deck, this will help you a lot. And then Destructo Disc. I never pulled this out. It seemed like it would be useful because I wanted to try to fit it into the deck, but it just didn't feel like a good card for the deck itself because it's not doing anything sort of like KOing or anything like that. It's doing more minusing than anything. And then, maybe if I wanted to push a little bit more pressure with damage, if my boosts weren't doing it, with the Activate Battle. But I never pulled it out of side deck, so you could probably change Destructo Disc out for it. I don't know what you might do that for. I think if anything, I may have replaced these with like some kind of floodgate, whether it be Imposing Presence or maybe Topo. But because like I said in the podcast, I feel like I could have used some floodgate to help, but I digress. And then King Vegeta Hidden Ambitions. This is just for the people who free play counter attacks. It's our counter. Never end up using it, but it is. I would definitely keep it in the sideboard card because you're such an aggro deck. You don't want free D magics being played for or dormant potentials. You want to counter those, so you're not limiting your swings. Great card. I think it's underutilized in my opinion. And then
very good.
Koitsukai, because it's Koitsukai. Koitsukai is Koitsukai. Everybody loves Koitsukai.
Koitsukai.
So that being said, that is the deck list, everyone. Please let us know what you think about the list down in the comments below. If you have any questions, suggestions, or if you even think you might want to run it, let us know. I'd love to hear your results with it. I probably won't continue with this deck just purely because I'm just not a red player, and I have it's just not my thing. And of course, as I've announced, I'm on White Bell mod now, so we're trying that out.
You heard it here. You heard it here, Eternal Dragon fans. The champ is prejudiced against red.
Fuck red.
Yep.
Any final thoughts, Austin, before we sign off?
No, I don't think much.
Fair enough. With that being said, again, happy Friday. I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. And this is Eternal Dragon TCGs signing off.
Peace.